Gonna be washing the 85. First wash it's had since, I don't know, at least 09 when it was parked. So we're gonna get this running and try to clean some of this crap out. It's slightly cleaner now. I'm gonna have to hand wash this thing because this power washer is ass and I ain't actually cleaning nothing. But I'll be back to show you all the truck after it's cleaned. Well, here's where we are on the 85. It started snowing and started with pulling the front brakes apart, seeing what I needed. Turns out both calipers are seized. Rotors are fine. Pads are good enough. I'm going to slap those back on it. But ordered some new calipers, ordered some new brake lines, then tried to take, new rubber brake lines. Tried to take the old ones off and then broke both of the front brake lines. So just remade one of them and then the other longer one. Going to install those now and then see about slapping the rubber brake lines on, and then maybe I'll throw the rest of it together tonight. But that's right. And then had to make a rear brake line, so rear brakes might work now. Opened up the bleeder screws after they've been frozen shut for 15 years. Somehow they opened. So those might work once they're bled. And then there's no heat in this thing. Pulled the old blower motor out. It's cooked. Ordered a new one along with some wipers and some other small stuff and a rear pinion seal because the rear end of this thing is leaking like a sieve. And then hopefully this thing will get to being pretty close to be able to put back on the road, because I don't want to keep putting salt on my nicer truck, because it pisses me off because I put too much money into that thing derusting it. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I'll be back once I get some more work done. All right, we're back. I got new caliper, brake line, hardware and all that put together on this side. The new brake lines hooked up down there on that junction block. Then down and over to this side. Got all this put together too. Now I just gotta bleed the system and then see if we got brakes. Oh yeah. Well, it's another night back at this thing. Got the front brakes to bleed and they work, so now we got front brakes in this thing. The rear brakes, I wasn't getting anything, and then another line blew, so now I got to replace another line on top of the one I already replaced in the rear. But you're gonna be tackling that tonight. It's kind of raining, kind of shitty, but it's only getting colder from here, so gotta make some progress. Also got a new blower motor for this thing. I got wipers, a pinion seal, all that. So hopefully I can get the heat to work in this. But that's where we're at. And then once I'd film more, but it's raining and yeah, it's crappy. And I don't want to do that on top of working on this thing. But I'll be back once I've made some more progress. Well, update on the trucks. Got the front brakes on the red one working. Found out after replacing lines that go to the rear brakes don't do anything and are going to need to be completely redone, which could have guessed. And valve cover is leaking on this thing straight under the exhaust manifold, which is causing a bunch of smoke, which I got to fix. But now the heat works in this truck, which is pretty nice. And just got 79 back from my buddy who put a new cross member in this thing and also welded and fixed up rear shock mount on it. So now I'm going to get to designing and building a wooden bed for this butte, and I'll be back when I've made some more progress. All right, I'm back out here with the trucks. It has been snowing. It is honestly not that cold. It's all right. But we're moving on to, before I build a bed on this thing, I want to prevent more rust from expanding on like the non-existing cab corners here. Gonna lop all the rot off, paint it, keep it like that for now because I'm not putting cab corners in this thing, and then clean up a little bit up underneath the window up here so that doesn't get any worse. And yeah, go from there. This truck needs some other stuff done to it before I can start building the bed, but we're getting there soon. Here's a better look at the cross member I had welded into this thing. Pretty mint. Now the cab's a bit more solid. The 85 is sitting right now. I gotta wait till I can order more parts for that thing. I gotta do valve cover gaskets, gotta do the pinion seal on the rear end, gotta redo the rear drums, get those working, because right now I redid the fronts and the thing stops, but the pedal still goes to the floor before it actually stops, which isn't ideal for driving this thing around. But another great thing that happened is on the GMC, the damn four-wheel drive went out, which is sick. So now I'm gonna do some work on this thing tonight, then take this thing, because can't get up my damn driveway. But four-wheel drive works on this old Butte, so I'm gonna put some miles on her. But I'll be back once I've made some progress with cutting some rot and making things look slightly better looking. See you then. All right, here's the aftermath. Lopped off all the rotted part of this cab corner along with some of the other rot. Painted that up. Wire wheeled a whole bunch of rust starting down there. Painted that crap up. Same on the other corner. Mismatch painted all that crap after grinding it down. And I'm calling that good enough for this thing, because I'm just trying to prevent more rust from forming. I'm not necessarily trying to replace what was lost right now. So, good enough for me. But I'll be back once either I start more progress on that truck or start on the bed on this thing.
Can you turn on, please? I can't do it with gloves.
All of this work just to take out little end of broken dipstick. This is just to replace dipstick. This is why we tore motor down to block.
Literally,
yes.
This is what was required. You needed. We could have left the crank in. Holy shit! It actually worked. Dude, that dipstick has been shooting oil out of my block for like 9 months.
Fucking piece of garbage. And that's how to replace a broken dipstick on a GMT 800 6.0 Vortex.
Yo.
Alright. Back out here again with the trucks. So I found out new things. The 79's cab, the rear corner on the driver's side, is collapsing because the support is gone. And so are the floors for the most part. So gonna have to put a pause on building the bed on this thing for a while until I get around to ordering some floor pans and other stuff for this thing to give it some structure back in the floor, because without that the cab's just going to keep sinking, breaking, and collapsing, which I don't want. So in the meantime, gonna move back onto the 85, gonna slap a pinion seal on it today hopefully, and then gonna pull the seat out of it and patch the few little holes in the floor, because I got a bunch of sheet metal laying around, and those will be easy enough. Let's try to keep the heat in a little more. And then also, when I was driving it, the wipers got stuck up, so I'm going to try to at least get those to go down, because I think the wiper motor just went bad, which is great, but also not surprising in the slightest. So that's where we're at today, and I'll be back when I got it jacked up and ready to go. Well, new update. Turns out I don't have the right metric or SAE wrench to fit the nuts that are holding the drive shaft on. So I'm going to have to wait till I can take this thing to work to fix that and do the pinion seal, so I gave up for now. Now we are on to the floors. As you can see, we have some holes we must patch and whatnot, and some holes down by the cab corners, which I'm gonna see if I can jankily cook something up and patch that up with my my little to no welding skills, but we'll see what we can do. So yeah, that's where we're at. Give up on the pinion seal, and now we're on to potentially fixing some shit with the floors, so we can keep in some more heat, and maybe nice enough put some carpet in this John, make it nice. But yeah, that's the update. See you then. Okay, I'm to the point where I've cut out a bunch of holes in the floor where there's rot. I don't care about everything, clearly, but we'll take care of a good chunk of this shit. Like there, this, there. Basically, where the fucking seat sits is where it's been fucking rotted. But yeah, and I mean, we don't worry about this hole over here. I might do something with it. I'm probably not going to do something with it. I might put tape over it. Shit, there we go. Same with that corner. Maybe some tape. But I only really like to weld where it's flat, and honestly, none of this is really that flat, so it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass to do. But yeah, I'll be back once I've welded things together with that shitty welder over there. Alright, I am back after finishing patching things. They're shit. It's shit quality, but it's better than ignoring and letting it get worse. So next step's gonna be, seam sealing all that crap and some other things, and then finally putting carpet and whatnot back in this thing to get it on the road. But I'll save that. That'll be a next video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, we're back with the trucks again. I finished up all the welding I'm doing for the time being, which there's a hole there, which I don't really care about right now. I'll probably fix in the future. We got the beautiful welds and whatnot. Yeah, we got some more over there. All that, just good stuff. Good fucking fab work. So now we're gonna clean things up, sand all this shit down, seam seal over all the cracks where I couldn't fill them with welds because I can't weld, and yeah, go from there. Clean it up. Maybe throw the seat back in. We got new valve cover gaskets because this thing fucking leaks like hell and sucks. So be back when I have progress. Well, here we are. Sanded up the floors, gooped up everything in seam sealer where I didn't fill it in with welds, and yeah, got the heat running, curing this stuff up. Then gonna paint it all so then it might look somewhat decent. Yeah, it's real good stuff. I'll be back when it's painted. Well, here we are with the final product. For now, until I eventually, fix that. Looks pretty good. Don't look too closely, and it's mint. So gonna let this cure dry, and then I'll come back to it, slap the seat back in, some other stuff, and then yeah, this thing will be just about road worthy. So yeah, might be all the work I do for today, but definitely, most likely tomorrow, gonna tackle the valve cover gasket. That way this stops dumping smoke and leaking onto the manifold and all that shit. And I also noticed the water pump's pretty wobbly and the belt's pretty loose on this thing too. So maybe a problem I want to deal with. Maybe not. I don't know. There's some other stuff. A bit of a leak in a transmission line that was patched a long time ago, but I'm not worried about it right now. But I'm happy, with some progression. The floors look somewhat clean in this thing now. Look at that. And then, sadly, I think the plan of the 75 is, since the corner of the cab is collapsing and shit, I'm gonna have to just, let it sit until I can get to fixing that and actually, putting floors in this thing and all that, which is gonna be a lot more work, which is why I'm sadly gonna have to let it sit for a while, because I just don't have the time to do that right now while I'm tackling other projects. So sadly, this Butte's gonna be sitting for a bit, but can at least make more progress on the red one, get that on the road, and get to driving this beauty. So be back when I'm ready to tackle throwing the seat and the valve cover gas into this shit. Well, I forgot to record the first half of starting to disassemble this, but we're back with the 85 doing the valve cover gasket and got all the bolts out. Now I just gotta cram a screwdriver in there and pry this thing off real quick. So I'm gonna try to set this up in a spot where it hopefully doesn't fall into the engine bay and disappear, because I wouldn't like that. We're good. It's really cold out and we're running out of daylight, but I want to get this done today. So that's the hope right now, is to try to do that as long as I can cram this screwdriver in there. There we go. This thing was leaking pretty good, but thankfully it seems to be pretty easy to get out or take off. And there we go. That old crusty gasket, which is not doing nothing. Doesn't look too bad though, and it actually looks fairly clean actually. Wow. Was not expecting that. But yeah. It's good stuff. Here, I'll show you. Here's the inside of the motor, or the head. But yeah, that took 2 seconds. Sick. This is very simple, and I'm very happy about that. Hopefully we can get this resealed pretty quickly and stop the leak. That'd be pretty cool. So I'll be back when I'm ready to put the cover back on. All right, valve cover's reinstalled. Everything's all back together. Gonna fire this thing up and see if it leaks or not. So
7K RPM off startup.
7K RPM? Mm.
Yeah, buddy.
It's good stuff. I gotta move this crap. Wherever my keys are, they're somewhere. Oh, there we go. The right key. There we go. The hell is that? Oh, a little bit. Alright. Never mind, she died. Gosh darn it. Well, it's smoking shit, whatever. Ooh, baby. Huh? Ooh, baby, no leaky leak.
That was there already.
Yeah, whatever.
Alright,
Let me inspect a little closer. Yeah, it's just burning shit off that was already there. Nothing's on fire, just grime burning off the manifold. Well, alright, good stuff. It's back up and running mint. Oh, no, I think the water pump's spinning pretty bad. Or the belt's bad. I don't know, I ain't worried about it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I'm just gonna let it run for a bit. We'll be back if there's a fire or something. See you then.